So today's topic for lecture is related to differential, and for that purpose I want to share my screen. So today we'll see about the differential. So here we'll see about the introduction, then parts related to differential system, working of differential, then we see case study, then other functions of differential, drawbacks of standard differential, and the sleep related to that differential. So if we see the introduction, we know that this is the view of rear axle. So on the back side, the differential is located. Generally, engine is located on the front side of the vehicle. So from the engine, the power comes towards the rear axle with the help of that propeller shaft. Actually, power is generated in the engine, and that power is transmitted through the gearbox towards the propeller shaft, and from that propeller shaft it is connected to the differential with the help of U-joint. In the differential, the bevel gears and different gear arrangements are there, and from that arrangement the rotation is transmitted towards the 90-degree direction towards the wheel. Here, differential is an integral part of all four-wheelers. A differential is used to allow the wheels to spin at different speeds. Spin means rotating at different speed. This is necessary when the vehicle gets turned. So if the vehicle turns on the left side, then the inner wheel, that is left side wheel, which is having the less radius, and outside wheel, that is outer wheel, having the more radius, and due to that the difference in radius occurs, and when the vehicle gets turned, then inner wheel required the less amount of movement, but outer wheel required more amount of movement, and this difference is compensated, or the take care about this movement by the differential. So this is the main function of differential. If we see the parts related to differential system, then pinion drive gear is there, which transfers the power from the drive shaft to the ring gear. Then ring gear is also there. We see the diagram in next slide. So ring gear will transfer the power to differential case assembly. And after that, spider, which is attached to the spider gears. Spider gear lies at the heart of the differential, and special mention should be made about its rotation. That is differential case assembly. If we see, hold the gear and drive the axle, the rear drive axle, which transfers the torque from differential assembly to the drive wheels. If we see the parts of differential, this is left side wheel and right side wheel is shown in this diagram. This is the transmission shaft. This transmission shaft is also called as propeller shaft. At the end of propeller shaft, here the pinion is located, that is also called as driving pinion, because this pinion drives the another gears which is attached with this. This is called as crown wheel. Then planet gear is or planet pinion is available. This is sun gear. Okay, so this is the parts of differential. If we see the one diagram is related to the turning, or left side or right side, both diagrams shown turning. Okay, so in this case the inner wheel is this wheel and this is the outer wheel. So inner wheel rotates this, that is path is available in this direction, so inner wheel like turns like this, and this is the outer wheel. So if we see the radius in the second diagram, this is the center point for this radius of curvature. So radius of this wheel is less as compared to radius of this outer wheel, and in this case the movement, the less movement is required for this inner wheel as compared to outer wheel. So when turning, the inner and outer wheels have arcs of different turning radius. So the inner wheel travels less distance than the outer wheel, and this difference, which is which makes by the differential. So from the drive shaft, power is transferred to the pinion gear first. Okay, so if we see this diagram, so the components related to this becomes, this is the pinion gear. So one shaft is shown on the back side of this diagram. Actually, consider this is the propeller shaft, and engine is located like here, for example. So from engine, the power or rotation comes towards the gearbox, and the main shaft of the gearbox is connected to the propeller shaft, and propellers at the end of propeller shaft, pinion gear is attached, and this pinion gear which is attached with this ring gear. So as pinion gear rotates, which is connected to the ring gear, and so ring gear also rotates. As the ring gear rotates, it is attached to the which is attached to the spider gear. So spider gear again attached to the side gears, and in this way this sequence gets completed. So I want to repeat this again. So propeller shaft is connected to the pinion gear. Pinion gear is attached to the ring gear, which is also called as crown gear. Crown gear is attached to the spider gear. Spider gear is attached to the side gears. So two side gears are there, left side and right side. So from the side gear, rotation is transmitted towards the left wheel as well as right wheel. In this way, the rotation is transmitted in 90-degree and wheel gets rotated. Okay, and the adjustment takes place in this spider gear when the vehicle gets turning. So if we see here, from the drive shaft, power is transferred to the pinion gear first. Since the pinion and ring gear are meshed, power flows to the ring gear. As the spider gear is connected with the ring gear, power flows to it. Finally, from the spider gear, power gets transferred to both the side gears. If we see the differential cases, the vehicle moves straight. If we consider the two different cases, when the vehicle moves a straight line or when the vehicle gets turned. Okay, so when the vehicle moves a straight line, in this case, the spider gear rotates along with the ring gear, but does not rotate on its own axis. So the spider gear will push and make the side gears turn, and both will turn at the same speed. So this is the differential case. If we consider the second point, that is vehicle takes a turn right, in this, along with the rotation of the ring gear, it rotates on its own axis. So the spider gear is having a combined rotation when the spider gear is spinning as well as rotating. The peripheral velocity at the left side of the spider gear is the sum of the spinning and rotational velocity. But at the right side, it is the difference of two, since the spin velocity is in the opposite direction at this side. If we see the functions of differential, first is the speed reduction at the pinion ring gear assembly. So here speed reduction takes place. Since the power flow at the pinion and ring gear are the same, such a speed reduction will result in high torque multiplication. If we see other the function that it can also note one specially of the ring gear, speciality of ring gear, they are hypoid gears, and hypoid gears have more contact area compared to the other gear pairs. So as the shape of hypoid gear is such that the contact takes place more in amount, that is area contact takes place, and in this way the more power is transmitted. The other functions of the differential is to turn the power flow direction by 90 degree. As bevel gears are used, so it turns the power in at 90 degree. So this is the main feature again. If we see the drawbacks in this differential, the problem is an open differential always tries to balance the torque. Almost no torque is needed to spin one wheel, and since the open differential always send the same amount of torque to both output shaft, this is the drawback. If we see the types of differentials, so major two different types of differentials are there, that is open differential and limited slip differential. In case of limited slip differential, clutch LSD is there, viscous coupling LSD is there, locking LSD is there, torsion LSD is there. So these are the different types of differentials. So limited slip, if we see, in the case of a standard differential in off-roading or snow situations where the one wheel begins to slip or lose contact with the ground. In this situation, a limited slip differential prevents excessive power from being allocated to one wheel and thereby keeping both wheels in powered rotation. So all this is related to differential. So I want to revise this again. If we see the differential, then in this case, the major part is related to the working of differential. So in this case, the rotation or power is coming from the engine towards the gearbox. From gearbox, it is connected to the propeller shaft through the main shaft. And from the propeller shaft, it is connected to the differential and with the help of U-joints. As U-joints are there, some misalignments are also possible in this case. And if we see the differential, in that case, bevel gears are used. And in that bevel gears, the rotation is transmitted in 90 degree. The main purpose of differential is if the vehicle is in at turning condition, so inner wheel rotates in less speed and outer wheel rotates in more speed. And in this way, such type of adjustment can occur or possible in case of differential. So this is about the differential working. If we see the different types, in case of vehicle, if vehicle is going in straight line direction, so at that condition, the spider is not rotating which on its own axis, because the adjustment is not required in that case. So spider is only rotating or which is not self-rotating about its axis. So this is the difference in the situation. And if we consider the military type of vehicles, then all wheels are connected to the differential or separate power is provided on each wheel. This is the difference in that case. Okay, so these are the differential. So here we stop our lecture. Thank you.